Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
I said, listen, brother, you gotta get on the top bunk. So he was like, listen, young brother, I can't get on the top bunk. He said, no, I'm an older guy, man. You know, you should take the top bunk because you're younger, you can get up and down easier.
Right.
So me thinking I'm this masculine, super macho man, you know, I'm like, yo, I'm not getting on nobody's top bunk. So we talked back and forth for about 20 minutes. By the 21st minute, he convinced me to take the top bunk. That night, I stayed in the cell with him and we just talked all night. Like I'm talking about all night. I never really met a man that mature. The next morning, he was like, yo, come with me to breakfast. I walked with him to breakfast. Sitting in the mess hall in prison, I'm like, a lot of people keep looking at us, man, but I'm not noticing anything. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is he gay? After breakfast, he was like, yo, what are you about to do? I said, I'm about to go back to the cell. He was like, nah, come with me to the yard. I go with him to the yard. As soon as we go to the yard, he clap his hands. He goes like this. About 30 Muslims lined up. And he said, I'm Mujahid. He said, if I would have got on that top bunk, I would have killed you this morning.
Wow.
You know, he was the imam, meaning the high priest of the whole prison.
Wow.
About 300, maybe.
Now, I'm inspired by that clip, but I don't know what that was. But it's okay. I have an amazing topic for us today. And it's something that I've been wrestling with. And you guys know that a lot of my topics not only come from the listeners, but they come from discussions that I have. And I was having a discussion with a young lady about her desires, right? Desiring what she wants, like what she wants, and how strongly or how strong her desires are for attaining what she wants. And I told her, and when I'm in a cigar lounge, of course, people come, they say, oh, there goes Zoe, let's talk to him about what's going on. But I told her, in no uncertain terms, I basically said, you're a prisoner to your desires. And I was explaining to her that desires, can be toxic. She couldn't wrap her head around it. She couldn't wrap her mind around it. And I was like, so what I said, desires are rooted in scarcity. And she said, what? I said, yeah. Think about it from a higher level of consciousness for one moment. If you are one with everything, right, then that means you have everything. If you understand what relationships are about, you hear us talk about it all the time. We seek external validation when the most important relationship we will ever have is the relationship with oneself, the intrapersonal relationship, right? So there's this internal validation that is necessary. And when I say it's necessary to, listen to what I'm about to say, it's necessary to be what you want so you no longer have to want it. See, wants, desires, aspirations, hopes, and all of that, it comes from lack. You already think you're not it, which is why you desire it. And you're attached to the desire. I've got to have it or I won't be happy. I have to pursue it and catch it because I don't want it to elude me. See, when we sit folk down, see, I'm a parent, so I realized I had to tell my children, you're that already. When my oldest son was getting on his basketball journey, I used to tell him, every time you go to practice, figure out, regardless of what team it is, AAU, varsity, whatever, college, whatever team you want, figure out who's the best player. Then go dog him. I mean, foul him. I mean, punk him. Go after him. Make it difficult for him. And he says, well, why? He didn't understand. I said, first and foremost, you got to give yourself the confidence to know that as good as he is, you can be better. As good as he is, you can surpass him. But you have to believe you're already there. And I said many times, and I told him about Mike Tyson. I said many times Mike Tyson had his opponent already defeated before he got in the ring because of his allure, his air of confidence. People were scared to get in there. The man came in there, damn near ran down ran to the ring. Didn't have on no socks, nothing. Didn't have no fanfare. Just ran to the ring. People were scared of that. And so what I was trying to explain to my son is, and what resonated with him is, I said, you can never become something that you aren't already. And that's what resonated. He was like, so I'm already a pro ball player. I was like, yes, sir. This is him at 11. I mean, he's a pro ball player today. But you understand what I'm saying? I put that in his mind. You can never become something that you aren't already. Now, put that in context of intimate relationships. I desire, I deserve. These are people who are coming from a mindset of lack. Desire as scarcity, a deeper look into the potential dark side of unchecked desires. Now listen how Krishnamurti puts it. The very desire is to be certain, to be secure. This is the beginning of bondage. It's only when the mind is not caught in the net of certainty and is not seeking certainty that it is in a state of discovery. Son, you don't have to run and chase being great. You're already that. All you got to do is just continue to work on your game, and you'll see that. And I used to show him. I always had him play against older kids. And I would tell him, especially during his AAU run, I would tell him, oh, you're playing against this 5-star ranked kid. I said, you got to shut him down. You got to shut him down. You got to rise above him. Not because you're better than him, but because you're better than you think you are. I always made it about him internally. And what I find in intimate relationships, people are already self-identified with their unhealed wounds. So the answer is not internally. The answer is an external answer. Somebody got to show up and show out for me. People don't play about me. Somebody got to show up and show themselves approved. Well, that's not going to happen until you do that for yourself. And a lot of people don't understand this. True or false? Desire emerges from attachment, and attachment leads to suffering. What distinguishes the term desire from the biblical concept of tarrying? This is deep. These are conversations that I've had with my sons and my daughter. I said, you guys remember we did a show last week, and they put a clip out. KBLA put out a clip, and the clip was basically asking, would you sacrifice your peace for unconditional love? 70% of the poll, nearly 80% of the poll was like, nope. That's because you're short-sighted. You're going to hear the clips. It's going to talk about this. People will tend to hold on to things of value because of a scarcity mindset. Oh, this is valuable. Let me hold on, right? Do you see? So again, we talked about it. Nobody wants to delay instant gratification. Nobody wants to say, you know what? Yes, this is valuable, but it's okay. I can set it aside. Do you understand what I'm saying? People desire the external to do the internal work. It's not going to work. That's not how relationships work. Nobody is coming to save you. All of the saving that goes on is an internal process. True or false? In order to have what you want, you must, listen, become what you want. Let's say it in another way. True or false? In order to have what you desire, you must become what you desire. It starts with you. And so many people think somebody's going to come along and be every answer. That's just not how it works. Do self-love deficient people have a higher propensity for ruminating on desires due to their lack of self-love? Can cultivating self-love cure one's hyper-focus on external desires? How are relational desires connected to deprivation of childhood needs? Are y'all listening? Your desires come from what you didn't get. Oh, my goodness. Let me read that one again, man. How are your relational desires connected to deprivation of childhood needs? What is the difference between a healthy desire and an egoic one, or a wounded desire? A wound-based desire? Yes. Is lack of... Are y'all people in the chat right now? Y'all bugging, right? Listen, I got to ask these kind of questions. See, hopes and dreams and yes, listen, let me tell you what hope is for. Hope is a psychological architect. I'm going to draw what I want. I'm going to envision what I want. I'm going to visualize what I want. And I'm going to imbue it with positive affirmation and intent. And I'm going to manifest it. That's an extension of hope. Hope is like art, right? Vision. I'm going to draw it in my mind. I'm going to sear it onto my soul. That's hope. But for many people, desire is born out of scarcity. They recognize that they are not what they want, yet they still want it. Is that not what's happening in intimate relationships today? This is why you have all of these people out here in the world talking about the person that comes into your life has to be 100% of this, 100% of that, this, that, and the person got to give, the person got to be. They're a supplement for what you're not. The person has to be a supplement for what you're not. And I know people don't want to hear it put like that. So you heard me say years ago when I said, Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them. Well, I rewrote it. When people show you who you are, you should believe them as well. And people show you your spiritual inferiority. What do I mean by spiritual inferiority? Unhealed wounds, unclaimed wounds. Wounds that have not been claimed. These wounds are like orphans in your spirit. You got to go back down there and claim them wounds. So you don't turn it into an expectation for the person coming into your life to fulfill. That is how you become attached. That is how you become in bondage to a person. When we come forward, I'm opening up the phone lines. I want to talk to you. Do you think desires are a bad thing? Huh? I want to know what you think. When we come forward, you know the number.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. Just a few short months ago, California Attorney General Rob Bonta filed 11 felony charges against Diana Turan, an assistant district attorney for Los Angeles County. The charges allege that Turan unlawfully accessed confidential computer data, including police officer files in 2018, and continued to use them after joining the DA's office in 2021. Ironically, Turan, who is now on administrative leave, oversaw the Public Integrity Division, responsible for handling high-profile cases of police misconduct and public corruption, including the charges brought against LA City Council member Karen Price last June. To be sure, the case against Price has raised plenty of eyebrows. Indeed, one noted legal scholar has said publicly, and I quote, "Everything about this prosecution reeks," close quote. Could A.G. Bonta, with aspirations to become California governor, be punishing Turan for her role in D.A. George Gascon's police accountability agenda to curry favor with police unions? Could D.A. Gascon be using the case against Price to showcase his tough stance on crime and political corruption as he vies to retain his seat as DA? Honestly, I have no idea, but here's what I know for sure. Karen Price has been elected and re-elected by thousands of voters, mostly black and brown, who stand to be further disenfranchised if this matter is not handled correctly, which is why it matters to us at KBLA Talk 1580. When the prosecutor is being prosecuted, it seems to me that at the very least, there ought to be a thorough, top to bottom, independent review of all cases under Diana Turan's purview to ensure that none of these cases have been tainted. Justice and fundamental fairness demand no less if public trust truly matters. And I hope it does. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your feedback.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you ever restore? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She would always be right there. Sunny days, everybody.
If you feel like you want everything, this is why. People want a small number of things, but they want them very much. And we don't go after what we want because we're afraid of what will happen if our desire is fulfilled or if it isn't. And because we hold ourselves back, we feel trapped and burn with unsatisfied desires so powerfully that we feel like we want everything. Because we don't go after our core desires, nothing feels like it's enough. So we think that to satisfy such a strong frustration, we need more than we really do. The need for everything comes from the scarcity of not having the small number of things you truly desire.
Hey! What does the word desire mean? From its etymological root, it means wish. Wish or long for. Express a wish to obtain, circa 1200. Right? Desirin, from Old English. Right? Wish, desire, to long for, from Latin. Long for, wish, demand, expect. Now listen. How does that tie into tarrying? Well, what is tarry? You know, you've heard it in the Bible. You've seen it. Let's tarry at the altar. You've seen it. Tarrying is the present participle of the verb tarry, which means to stay somewhere for longer than expected, or to be slow in coming or going. For example, you might tarry in a park until the day is fading, right? Or you might tarry over breakfast. It can also mean to hang around a place without purpose or to enjoy each other's company, to tarry. But listen, as a work in progress, for human beings, you tarry with the uncertainty of self. right? You tarry with your healing process. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Sometimes your healing process is longer than it should have been. You know why? Because what Carl Jung said about our reluctance to look ourselves in the face, to look our souls in the face. And so through, distraction, we tarry, right? When it comes to healing of old hurts, when it comes to truly forgiving, we tarry. So tarrying is a part of our work in progress, right? When there's a fear to confront ourselves. And sometimes the desire, because we know we are not what we desire, so we seek what we desire in others. Do you see how desire can somehow become problematic? Desire becomes an extension of scarcity and escapism. See, if we wouldn't tarry on the work that is to be done on ourselves, cultivating what we want from others, instead of demanding in a desire, which is a wish, I wish they would show up right. If we made it a mandate, a command, instead of a demand, a command from the inside instead of a demand to the external. If we said, I'm going to command myself to be what I expect of others. Oh, Lord, the tarrying starts to wane. The work in progress starts to become progressive. You start to heal, but you put it on somebody else. This is why I say most people are coming from a fear-based perspective when they're desiring. Why? Because they know a fear and a scarcity place. This isn't who I am right now. And it's okay to not be that right now. But if you start to pour back into self, what then is the purpose of desiring anything? When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. We're going to get to it.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Joe Biden is reacting to the deadly deputy-involved shooting of Sonia Massey. The president released a statement following the release of body camera footage showing Massey being shot and killed by former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson earlier this month at her Springfield, Illinois home. Biden said Massey is a beloved mother, friend, daughter, and young black woman who should be alive today. The president said Massey's death at the hands of a responding officer reminds us that black Americans often face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us don't. Grayson has been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and official misconduct. Democratic delegates in Virginia are lining up behind Vice President Kamala Harris to be their party's nominee for president. The Virginia Legislative Black Caucus announced all of their members who are delegates will support Harris at next month's convention. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Generators aren't something you turn on each day, but when you do, they must be reliable. SoCal businesses have turned to Duthie Power for almost 60 years to keep emergency power systems maintained and serviced. See the generator experts at DuthiePower.com. That's DUTHIE Power.com.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. When the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. 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 Follow the leader.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I sure experienced this. Sometimes you just desperately want something, but somehow it's easier to mess it up. For example, when you feel lonely, you really want to, love relationship. The more you desire, the more easy to mess up on a date. Or you just, I don't know, you want to lose weight. The more you desire to eat less, sometimes you eat even more than normally. Before, I thought this is some like a spiritual stuff. This is not really a science. However, there is a lot of research being done in those fields are showing that is actually true. Today's idea is from this book, Scarcity. It's written by two professors, one from Harvard and one from Yale. They're actually showing another side of the coin. And it is true that when we desire wanting something, there is higher failure rate. But it's not because we desire. It's actually because when we desire, normally it's due to one reason, is we feel we lack of something. Or like the book title, Scarcity. We feel this scars in us. We lack of love, we lack of sleep, we lack of food. However, that kind of feeling of lack of something, the scarcity mindset, can actually cause a big issue in our life. There's a 3 main downside. Number 1, when you feel scarcity mindset, it actually drop your IQ point. Studies show it actually drop about 13 to 14 points. It will move average IQ to a borderline deficit IQ. Imagine you have the borderline deficit IQ to go on a date. I'm sure it's really easy to mess up. And there's a really shocking example about this. Do you know what's a...
Wait a minute. Desires lowers your IQ. He's mentioning a book called Scarcity, written by 2 Ivy League professors, one from Harvard, the other one from Yale. And listening to him speak made me think of this question. True or false? Does it offend God, which is the source of abundance, which is the source of all that is, to approach it in prayer from a scarcity, desire-based mindset? Oh, that's a heavy question. True or false? Does it offend God if you approach it in prayer from a scarcity, i.e., desire-based mindset? Whew. That's heavy. True or false? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to some folk. I got some people on the line. But, I want to go deeper. I think we all know desire is a fundamental aspect of human nature, right? It drives individuals to seek fulfillment, happiness, and satisfaction in our lives. However, when desire is rooted in scarcity, malcontent, and dissatisfaction, right, I think desire can become a little toxic. It can lead to a cycle of perpetual longing and discontent. On tonight's topic, we will explore the concept of desire as a form of scarcity, drawing on the insights of all the famous guys you hear me talk about, everybody. I'm going to be talking about everybody tonight, using their examples, but that's interesting to me. Can you approach God with a scarcity mindset? 1-800-920. Do we do that in relationship? Do we approach relationships from a scarcity mindset? It made me think of this because I mention this often. Remember Dr. Joshana Johnson was here? Joshana? She said, I don't like, the love languages. She said, because I believe that the love languages are born out of attachment wounds. I thought that was exceedingly profound because everybody's like, my love language is this or that. But what if your love language comes from an attachment injury? And now what you're desiring, what you're thirsting is desire thirst. The kids got that new term, thirsty. wouldn't it be easier to become what you seek? The great Rumi, the poet, said, what you seek is also seeking you. But that's that whole mirror of relationship. If you believe you're empty and your answer is outside of you, is desire hurting you? This is interesting. We got a caller on the line. Let's get him in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts?
Okay, first of all, that was so many questions in like 2 minutes.
I be asking questions.
You got people's heads about to explode. Oh my God! What in the world?
This is what I be on.
Well, I know, because we tight like vice grips. However,
right.
I'm gonna say this: you said, can you approach God with a scarcity mindset? He already knows you have it.
Right.
So what exactly would you be approaching him with that he was like, well, that shocked me? Like, what if that scarcity mindset is meant to be there for a reason? If your journey is built on deconstructing your desires, that's low-key like cleansing out karma. So what would be the shock? I don't know.
No,
maybe I'm thinking too deep.
But no, you're thinking in the right way. The reason why that question was framed in that way is because so many people say you have to have this vibration of it's already done. What you're asking for, you already have it. You have to live as if you already have it. You have to have this vibration of not yearning and desiring and scratching and seeking. So that's why I framed the question in that way. God, I'm not saying God is indifferent, but I think the universe, and I've heard people say it this way too. God's answer is yes. So if everything is vibration and frequency, right? You saw that clip with Iyanla Van Zant recently when she was talking about relationships. Everything is vibration and frequency. Well, if your vibration and frequency is that of lack in the form of desire, the universe is just going to answer yes, right? Based on your vibration and frequency, correct? If your vibration and frequency says, I don't have it, the universe gives you more of what you don't have, right?
Facts. I would also posit too. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead, finish.
Well, I was going to say too, this kind of connects to, I think, the ways that we think about the Most High, or think about God or the universe, as if like they're seeking us out, so to speak, when we're the ones asking the questions. This kind of idea that they're just waiting for a poor soul to just bless them. And I think some of this is just based on us being ignorant. Like, to me, when I think of desire, that's like Focus's lazy-eyed cousin. Like, because desire is missing that foresight, right? Which is what makes desire equal to lack, because it's aimless. You ever think about like when you just be sitting in your house and you be like, man, I wish I had a burger right now. You have no intentions, no scripted forethought out in terms of how to get it. It's just a thought. But I would.
This is big.
Yeah.
But this goes back to my point about tarrying. That's what we were talking about when I said, would you delay, put aside your peace of mind in order?
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody said, nah, I'm not putting my peace of mind up. No. I can't give up my peace of mind.
We're attached to that.
That's because, like you said,
really know what that is.
But like you said, we don't have foresight. We don't understand that, in 2 years. See, it's easy to go to school. School lasts for a certain amount of time. I'm going to go 2 years, or I'm going to go 4 years, or I'm going to do 6 years. You know the time. But when you don't know the time, the uncertainty bothers you so much that your desire to get out of it becomes a distraction. Is that not what happens in intimate relations? When we come forward, I'm going back to Houston, Texas, because we starting to cook now.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission invites you to join us on LA's Road to Reparations. Join us in person on Juneteenth, Wednesday, June 19th, 10 a.m. at All People Community Center, 822 East 20th Street, Los Angeles, California, 90111, to learn the results of Black Experience Survey, focus groups, and one-on-one interviews, and to learn how you can share your input to develop LA City reparations. For more info, visit laisforeveryone.com today or call 213-978-1845.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm still in love with you. In love, girl, but your friends got you thinking, and it's affecting you. Don't listen, baby. What can I do, girl? So in love, girl. Wait for this moment. And I don't know what to do, 'cause I don't wanna lose you. No. What would I do without your love? Baby, it's heaven sent from above.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is overcoming scarcity mentality. So I have a secret to confess. When I was in my teens and early 20s, I would occasionally receive a gift from a friend or a family member, something small, like a cupcake or a bunch of cookies. And even though I was delighted by the present, even though the present looked rather delicious, I would often refrain from eating the present because, on some level, if I ate it, it would be gone, and then I would have nothing. But if I didn't eat it, I would still have the present. I understand that this was irrational, but it's what I did. I'd sometimes keep those cookies for months, even though doing so would cause them to go stale, because it would keep me connected to the gift and the intention that I presumed to be behind it. Of course, in the holding on to the gift, I lost the gift because the cookies got stale, but for a time, I managed to convince myself that I still had it. And I think this is how the scarcity mentality works. I'm going to cling to this and not use it or enjoy it or experience it. I'm going to cling to this because clinging is preferable to the nothingness that I expect would take its place, were I to use it or enjoy it or experience it. I had no real confidence that if I were to eat the cookies, they would be replaced by a fresh batch on a reasonable timeline. For me, that's the crux of the scarcity mentality. If I were to eat the cookie, it wouldn't be replaced. Now, the fact of the matter is that we need to eat cookies in order to create space for more cookies to come into our lives. If my friend were to find out that I hadn't yet eaten the cookie she had already given me, why would she bake me more? It would be wasteful. And I think both people and the universe tend to operate according to this rational principle of parsimony. The reality is that we're going to lose the cookie anyway. Whether we lose it through staleness or whether we lose it through consumption is irrelevant. The cookie is doomed. So if we're going to lose the cookie anyway, why not enjoy it? And why not cultivate more trust in one of the more rational dimensions of reality, namely that nature abhors a vacuum? In enjoying the cookie, we create the space for more cookies to come into our lives. Now, in the beginning, this attitude requires some measure of faith that the void will be filled. But the more you do it, the more you will come to trust in this underlying fabric of reality. It's in the nature of things that you will be provided for. You will be provided love and friendship and money and growth and health and redemption. These things won't always be provided to you on a silver platter, and that's good because it gives us something to do with our time. But the universe is abundant in its possibilities. There are opportunities for all of these things. But we first need to create the space for them to come into our lives by increasingly letting go of what we cling to in our fear. And the best way to do that is to consume, through active participation, the goodness that comes into your life, thus opening up more space for even more goodness to arrive in.
Become what you desire. Desire comes, for most people, desire comes from lack. It comes from a scarcity mindset. The idea that in order to have what you want, you must first become what you desire highlights the importance of aligning one's thoughts, beliefs, and actions with their desired outcomes. When individuals embody these qualities, values, and characteristics, they wish to manifest in their lives, right? Whatever it is, this person, this idea, this money, whatever. They create a powerful, energetic resonance that attracts similar experiences and opportunities. By cultivating a sense of self-awareness, authenticity, and empowerment, individuals can transcend the limitations of scarcity-based desires and step into a reality of abundance and fulfillment. Now, go back to my question. If God is the source of abundance, God is abundance itself, infinite abundance. And guess what? Don't get tricked by the question, because God is you, right? Because if God is infinite, where does God end and you begin, and vice versa? How you gonna step to your higher self as less than? Listen, higher doesn't mean, do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't come in and go, I ain't it. The higher source is like, I'm going to give you what you want. Let me say it another way. I'm going to give you what you are. I'm going to give you what you think. I'm going to give you what you feel. Frequency, vibration. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying today? All right, we got callers. Let's get these callers in here. Atala, finish your thought. Atala?
Hello?
Yes,
Okay, sorry.
yes.
My bad.
Please finish your thought.
All right. So I agree with Terabin, even though he's annoying. The cookies kind of lost me for a little bit. I was like, what are you talking about with cookies? But I get it for the most part.
Do this. Reframe the cookies in terms of relationships as options. Based on your attachment style. And if it's maladaptive, anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, whatever, disorganized, fearful, avoidant, guess what? You're either going to push those options, those cookies away, they're going to get stale, or you're going to devour them and you're going to be chasing after more, right?
Facts.
There you go.
Facts, because we greedy. I feel like we're leaning towards desire and we're trying to like reap the fruits of someone who's focused, like a mindset of a focused person. And I think we get frustrated because you get attached to an outcome and you're not really enjoying the journey with the person. So that also goes into us making up stories about who the person is and how they connect to us as well. So we perpetuate our own frustration, in my opinion, in regards to the relationships. And part of that is because instead of swimming with the current or the tide, you trying to like fight against. It's like it just don't make no sense. Like we do it to ourselves, and we link a lot of our expectations to shoulds because we do it, and it makes sense. Like you think about like when you're young and you're like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and that doesn't go away when you turn 30. It doesn't go away when you turn 40. So whomever you're meeting in that time period in terms of dating, you're literally putting them in the same box that you put yourself in. So I guess it starts with you either way.
Right.
So, yeah.
And based on the etymology of the word desire, which means wish, even when we wish, we're desiring, right? Oh, I wish I would have did this differently. I wish I hadn't have done that. I wish things would have turned out like, ooh, do you see? Do you see? And it's all coming from a scarcity place. Listen, Attila, guess what you just did?
How about Houston in the building?
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to West Palm Beach, Florida. Let's get it.
It don't matter what your friends do, they're just jealous of me and you. And I'll always keep you happy, 'cause I'm still in love with you.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Joe Biden is reacting to the deadly deputy-involved shooting of Sonia Massey. The president released a statement following the release of body camera footage showing Massey being shot and killed by former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson earlier this month at her Springfield, Illinois home. Biden said Massey is a beloved mother, friend, daughter, and young black woman who should be alive today. The president said Massey's death at the hands of a responding officer reminds us that black Americans often face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us don't. Grayson has been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and official misconduct. Democratic delegates in Virginia are lining up behind Vice President Kamala Harris to be their party's nominee for president. The Virginia Legislative Black Caucus announced all of their members who are delegates will support Harris at next month's convention. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new saucy nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's, a participating U.S. Wendy's.
Yeah, yo, come on.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.